The new poll at davidpakman.com, please log on and vote. In which area should President Obama focus his re-election pitch to voters? Healthcare, economy and jobs, something else? You tell us. Go to davidpakman.com. Let's get to some of your emails. On the topic of, is each congressperson representing too many people? Congressmen don't represent too many people. It's that they don't want to represent any. That's why there is wolfpack.com to take money out of politics. Yes, we've had Cenk Uygur on the show talking about Wolfpack. And it exists. We are aware of it.
Right.
If we had more representatives, it would be more expensive to buy enough of them to pass favorable legislation. Perhaps that's one way to reduce the influence of corruption.
I will say that is probably the only really good reason I can think of to have more representatives.
That is a good point. More representatives means it becomes much more expensive to corrupt them. You've got to corrupt a lot more people to get a favorable vote.
There's also going to be a lot more paychecks to these representatives and
more staffers, more offices, absolutely.
Right.
It increases government,
right?
Which, as we see from many, is inherently bad. And as we see from those who are tainted by logic and reason, sometimes it actually makes sense. On the topic of the Georgia school system combining math and social studies with questions about slavery and beatings. Indefensible stuff coming from my home state. I'll always be a proud Georgian, but nothing would make me more proud than moving past race, religion, and class discrimination. And that combination was just a lie to cover up their racism. It was not a combination of math and social studies. And I've actually heard some people say the questions were to provoke black hatred against white people. People can always find a way to make themselves look like victims, it seems. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Little far-fetched.
Romney wins New Hampshire, a lot of emails about that. The whole Republican race is like a horse race where all the jockeys carry guns and shoot at the front runner. That would be a hell of a horse race.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not completely wrong. Ron Paul came in second. Support has only been going up. Won't be long until he starts taking first. I am maintaining Ron Paul is not going to be the Republican nominee. He's just not. I don't know what else to say. However, I really would like Ron Paul to run as a third-party candidate because it would almost ensure that Barack Obama gets reelected.
Absolutely. But he knows that.
And Ron Paul supporters were the stereotypical uneducated anti-Bush crowd. They have zero grasp on their emotions or stances. I actually disagree that the anti-Bush crowd is really primarily who makes up the Ron Paul crowd. I disagree completely with that.
The anti-Bush right-wing crowd, perhaps.
The anti-Bush right-wing crowd. Maybe, yeah. No, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
The right-wingers who didn't like Bush are possibly more active supporters of Ron Paul. But the people on the left who didn't like Bush are not supporting Ron Paul on the whole. Okay, and on the topic of me pronouncing Chicago, and all of these different things, I actually got an email from Brendan who says many Chicagoans pronounce Chicago as Chicago with the ch sound versus the sh sound. So don't let them haters hate. It turns out all along that I was pronouncing it the way that people in Chicago actually pronounce it, Chicago.
News to me.
It is news. I don't know. Maybe this is fine. I think I'm just going to continue pronouncing it my way. And if people don't like it, I will either just say, that's the way they do it in Chicago, or English is my second language. I apologize. That's it for the show. See you on the bonus show, a brand new show in a few days.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.